just start from here. I think I'm good. I think I have everything set up. I thought for a minute the thing still said 2022, but it does not. In fact, the other day, actually, I did screw up and wrote 2022 down as the year.
Oh, I did that at work the other day. I wrote it as 2023, and I was like, why am I thinking it's 2023?
Well, see, 2023 is like a normal accident to have, but it's been a while since it's been 2022. Like, it hasn't been that long since 23. Uh, it's been quite long since 2022. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Under Construction. I'm your host Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. Oh, you don't use WSD to walk around in this. Oh crap! No, don't add layer. Use this. Um, yeah, that's right. I want to use this. Actually, I do want to start off with something. I have more evidence. I have more evidence that I need to show you guys. I just need to know if it's on maps first before we do the not Tetris. Before we do anything else, we are going to go onto Google Maps and I'm gonna check if something exists. Because I took a little walk earlier and I went by here. I know I'm doxing myself, but whatever. If you order trading cards, you get my friggin' address anyway. And the Rhode Island College has the I ruined it by starting over here. Never mind. Pretend you didn't see that. The Rhode Island College has these years from each of its classes on the fence. 2004, 2005, 2006, which is censored for some reason. I guess 2006 is not safe for work. 7, 8, 9, 10, and you go down the line. 2014, 2015, 2016. And then the fence ends. There's nothing after 2016, guys. It's all been a sham. And the colleges know, the liberal elites, they know that after Harambe was killed, it was all over. But I guess I didn't see the other ones. That's not important. Anyway, not Tetris. Let's get ready to do this. Thought of skipping it, but alas, we can't. It's the tradition. They put a screen on their sign. Screen on their sign. I didn't see the screen. Alright, this is going well so far. We're gonna end up building a stack of Z pieces. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that could have gone worse, I guess. Okay, let's go over here and down. And we're gonna have to play very well to take care of that hole we just made. Okay, this guy can go over here. No! Oh, it landed just a little bit too hard. Well, at least we got a line out of it. One singular line out of it. Let's put that down there. Oh, are you kidding me? And that's not good either. Okay, well, you know what? That works out. That works out. It's gonna be okay when I do that. Yay! Okay. And now that folds right into there. And this guy can go over here. And this guy can go over here. And this is not gonna help. Alright. Lafayette would like to say hi to the stream, it would seem. Neighbors are taking their bins in. Because despite the holiday, trash pickup was the normal day, but then recycling pickup was the day after. And I'm wondering if that was intentional, or if things got screwed up, or, you know, it's like, oh, it's a, you know, usually you get the trash and recycling pickup get put off by a day because of the holiday. It's like, did only the recycling guys get the day off? The trash guys don't have as good of a union, so they're They had to come in on the holiday, and the recycling people didn't have to. I don't know. It's something that it was a weird situation. It was going out to take the bins back in, and one of them is still full. And they were full. We had Galentine's this past weekend. Um, there was plenty of other stuff, or plenty of stuff in those cans. I mean, food boxes, but mostly alcohol bottles.
Your point.
I'm just stating a fact. Are you are you you know? Do you not want me to tell the truth out here?
Unless it doesn't bring you alcoholic.
Well, there were a lot of people here. If it was just you and the trash can was full of alcohol bottles, then that'd be a different story. I feel like we'd have to have an intervention. Um, you know, I mean, I don't think the thing keeping you from like downing a bottle of wine every night is the fact that you don't have one all the time. I'd like to hope that's the case. I'd like to hope that
I'm not mentally unstable.
yeah, you wouldn't just become like a wine mom but without the mom. Um, Not to get on too much of a tangent, says TJ, but I heard Ripta's union just got a pretty nice new contract, which is good to hear because the service is like getting slashed. They've got a huge fiscal, you know, like a budget gap. And they've been needing more drivers pretty sorely. I know this, the contract won't help directly. Maybe it'll help them get some more drivers or retain the drivers that they have. But yeah, things aren't great for Ripta and Transit, which is it's a really tough situation to be in because of the whole bridge situation with I-195 being one of those bridges being closed, possibly going to need to be rebuilt pretty much from scratch, which was not something that we had sort of expected or budgeted for as a state. I know that there was going to be a lot of work that was to be done on that bridge, but I don't think a full reconstruction was in the cards until very recently. So that could be a very, very long time where more transit would be sorely needed. Of course, they canceled the ferry, which, in fairness, the ferry may not have been a particularly efficient use of funds, but it was very nice to have. And I think if they had uh, spent a little more time with it and spent a little bit more effort on making it like a palatable option, right? Better transit connections on either side, that sort of thing. Better advertisement, because I couldn't find, at a glance, I could not find like the schedule and stuff. I had to keep going to the website via a link through like two Providence Journal articles. Like I had to chase the link down. Um, Not something you want when you are trying to debut a new public transit service. Even one on short notice. I believe they did have a website called Providence Bristol Ferry, but it wasn't the best website. Um, Point is, it's been a kind of a mess since the bridge broke. Dean, I'm sure you can sympathize, but at least you guys had a spare. Anyway, we will keep an eye on this developing catastrophe of a story as it all unfolds. Come on, go over there. At least I will have to because I've got to deal with it. It's been really preventing me from going to the East Bay. I'll say that much. Not that I go to the East Bay particularly often, but it's dropped that probability substantially. That's why you have more than you need. I mean, I don't disagree. The thing is, the other bridge was also under construction. We have the Henderson Bridge, uh, which is not it's sort of somewhere in between a highway bridge and a local street bridge that goes across the Seekonk River, and that was under major reconstruction. It still kind of is under reconstruction. It's not fully open yet, but I think they did a little bit of pushing to get the traffic situation there In a state where it could handle the bridge closure, and by handle I mean just make the catastrophe slightly less bad. Anyway, we're doing pretty good here. I don't want to jinx us, but we're doing pretty good here, despite a relatively disastrous start. Well, we are running out of room now. Can that give me a line, please? Yes. Okay, tip that over there. This right here. I don't have enough time to check my next... Okay, I don't know if that's... Okay. We're having a bit of a cascade here. That's good. That's good. I'm starting to panic. The blocks are coming faster. That was not a good move. I want to put that there, but it's going to lose the rotational momentum when it hits something, so not ideal. We have another block coming in, and then a piece to the right. I want to... Oh, no, I missed. Okay, this is why not Tetris is garbage, and by garbage I mean wonderful. Why it puts a great new spin on Tetris. I am not being paid by them to advertise their product, but it's also free, so it's not really much of a product. Remember, if something's free, you're the product.
Okay.
It's true. Okay. This is not great, but let's put this around here, and then put the long one over here, and then put this guy right here. So over here. That's not going to be good. I am hosed, I think. They're coming so fast now. So fast. Right there. Oh. I almost had another one. Can I just... Oh. I'm going to try to force it down. Wah wah. Alright, we almost broke our third high score. We haven't had a new high score since September, which, not ideal. Does anyone know what a Tiny Tim rocket is? I believe they are the World War II rockets that they would slap on planes and then blow stuff up with. Anyway, I came here specifically to grab that crossbuck so we could take it over to here. I don't know the technical name for the Tiny Tim. I don't know, like, what the actual, like, military blah blah blah, but I bet if you Google it, you would find it. Okay. There we go. Railroad crossing 4 tracks. At least this has that. And you know what? I can give it some wooden crossing boards as well. I feel like that's fair enough. Wood grade crossing. I kind of wanted it to be just a dirt crossing without that, but this is the incompatible spline. Oh, I clicked right on the road. I probably couldn't do that again if I wanted to. This is the first road crossing on this side of the river. Not that that necessarily means much, but I feel like it should mean something, right? How come I can't... Okay. Well, I guess I couldn't line it up exactly where I wanted it. I'm wondering why, but, you know. What was that? Uh-oh. The postcards have gone. One of those I need to give to TJ. The one of, the Strasbourg engine. The one of Gabe. Okay. So, there we have that. Then we have a field here, a field here, a field here. This long curved one. Although I should probably slice that. I can line it up pretty much right with this. Too bad I can't actually see that line. Let's just make a mark here. Alright, not beautiful, not in the most straight line, but it's here, that's for sure. and then we've got to put stuff on either side of it. We've got to get these fields done, sooner or later, right? Because it's gonna be what? Oh, it's gonna be not too long. You know, if we keep procrastinating on this, we'll never get to do scenery in Bellington and South Bellington. So we've got to get this out of the way. I know we have a lot more road work to do over in town. We have more track work to do that I've kind of been neglecting and forgetting. We have some terrain stuff on the other side so that we can get the town up to the right size so that we can sort of the hell was that? Continue extending stuff off in the correct direction. There we go. Okay, so we will finish this, and then we can take stock of what we are needing to do. And the fact this comes down to that, which is not unreasonable. With the way that these are pointing, if these, I don't know what you call the grooves, the direction that you're tilling. I'm sure there's a name for it, but because the grooves are pointing north south, sorry, pointing north south. I'm gonna go into a food coma. I just had a great Italian wrap. I had a sandwich, and then Gloria decided to order food, and I couldn't resist, which is really antithetical to me trying to lose 20 pounds. Uh,
I'm sorry. Just tell the people I'm making you fat.
I do that. I do that all the time. But usually it's because of your good cooking, not because you place a takeout menu in front of me and go, "Do you want anything?" And I can't say no to that, even after I've just eaten a sandwich. It's good that I didn't get a second sandwich. I got something very close. Anyway, yeah, we'll go take stock of what we need to do after this. And if these had been pointing east-west, you would have had increasingly small ones over here, which doesn't really, it doesn't make sense to me. It looks a little strange. Alright, so we've got that in there, and I think that's a texture that we, sorry. I think that's actually a texture that we haven't used before. Now, I did say that after Bellington, what I wanted to do was put, go up this way. Not this way or this way, but this way. And I think this is the first place where we've had 4 directions that we could go. I mean, I guess if you count this, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I guess when we were done with this, we could have gone either way up the narrow gauge, or we could have gone this way, or we could have gone this way. I wasn't really considering the narrow gauge when I said that. I'm about the same way with menus, especially if it's good eating. Got a restaurant in Caulfield, is that Missouri, called the Three-Legged Mule. The Alaska Burger is gargantuan. All the M states, I always get hung up with the, M-O, M-S, M-N is Montana, right? No, M-N is Minnesota, M-T is Montana. See, I'm already getting hung up. Too many states that start with M. We need to rename some of them. I would like to hear pitches for renaming M states, especially if they are to state. Sorry, if they are to letters that we don't already have states ascribed to. Like, what's a state? I mean, we don't have like an X, a Y, or a Z, right? We have an A. We have a okay, Bay State. Okay, yeah. I mean, Massachusetts is the Bay State, but I'm not sure you'd just call it Bay State, right? What about This I'm sure you could do a BS. Okay, well that's I guess completely fair. I guess you could do a play on the hub of the universe somehow. I'm not sure exactly how, just somehow. It's just like letting out one bark at a time. Uh, okay, so this like I said, this is gonna be this. So we're gonna jump into Surveyor 2.0. As long as we're doing something, right? Yeah, because like I said, we're not going this way and we're not going this way. We do have to finish the yards over here. And we do have to finish however far the town gets in this direction. So this needs plateauing. And we could probably do that today. But I'd like to get some more of this done first. Eyedropper, Yarnish, this... Are you leaving? Bye, baby. Love you. Replace spline with selected asset. Excuse me. And I think this one too, actually. Or maybe this one shouldn't have... So the question is, what's going to be over here? Maybe like a couple more modern developments, maybe like a strip mall or something. In fact, I could write that out. We could have our strip mall here. We also, like I mentioned, we need a burial ground somewhere. This could be either or, but I think it's going to be a strip mall. So, and I'm just gonna mark this down with this, and I'm going to say STRIP. I can write good if I actually try. Okay, strip mall. So anyway, we have that all figured out. I love having massive bombers in War Thunder, but I hate when I end up in a game where fighters and strike aircraft are much more optimal. Yeah, I mean, they're mostly gonna be. Bombers in War Thunder had their heyday a long time ago, and they really haven't gotten any better since. They've been kind of getting steadily worse. I don't know about the most recent developments because I just haven't played Air in a very long time, but I remember it not being, out of the question that bombers were very, very out of vogue, except for that one brief period where there was the bug where you would get tons of rewards for killing yourself, and then people were jumping into bombers and slamming into the ground. I don't remember why it was specifically bombers. I think it had something to do with bomb load, but that was a very strange bug, and it persisted for only a little while because they immediately fixed it. And if you took advantage of it and they caught you, you would get penalties for it. It was a wild time in War Thunder history. I was not really playing during that period, but then again, I haven't really been playing War Thunder in a very long time. I hop on every once in a while. You sort of get the itch. I get the itch to shoot at stuff. It is my easiest shoot at stuff game. It used to be Fallout 4, but I no longer own a copy of Fallout 4. Now I guess I have other Fallouts, but I don't have any of them installed. And also, I mean, the gunplay in previous Fallouts is not as good as Fallout 4. I guess I have 76. I just don't like to play that alone. I'd rather play that with Gloria or Milky, the other people that have Fallout 76. Okay, so I think we mentioned earlier, every road in this stretch is going to be macadam. We might have a wider street through here. So let's see what sizes we have. I mean, we have the 42-foot. We have the 38-foot, although the 38-foot is clearly a different material. So that's not ideal. We also don't have... we don't have the edges for 38-foot. So that's interesting. I didn't even consider that. Is this one of those? Is this a 38-foot? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we've dealt with this before. It's just not great. But I want this to be a 38 footer, and honestly, okay. So the issue is making all these intersections, and honestly, because of that, I might have to abandon the idea. Um, because yeah, especially if the road got tightened up on account of getting this railroad in here, and maybe this stretch won't even have a sidewalk on the east side. That that could make sense. Okay, I'm just gonna put this down right here, and then I'm gonna jump back into Survey 2.0 so I can update all these. I find having a shoot stuff game is very very useful, very beneficial. Um, oh, that's the screen you were talking about. I see, Dean. Uh, yeah, they got a sign that says things. Um, they have like actual they have like an actual like stone sign immediately in front of that you can't see in that screenshot, and it's lit up nice. Except one of the lights is busted and the other two are covered in snow. But you make do with what you can. Um, let's place spline with selected asset. Ooh, and it's doing it on the right side too. That's helpful. Hello, Pat. Okay, 2 for 2 so far. Replace spline with selected asset. 3 for 2. I think I did all this in one fell swoop, so it should all have the same directionality, which that does matter in Trainz. Like Trainz does keep track of the direction in which you lay the spline down. Okay, whistle going off. Don't mind that. This track is gonna end here for sure. Like it's not even gonna go across the. I was tempted to have. I mean, I have an idea, but we're gonna have to come through here and figure out the industries and figure out the track work. Which that's not a bad goal for today. If we did want to do that. Let's see. 30-foot macadam. I think I'm just gonna replace all these with it. Come on, give me that. Give me this. Give me this. So I was almost made late because of XCOM again instead of food. Which, if it wasn't for the food, I probably would be blaming XCOM. I had to stop playing because I had to start eating. But it's been not an addiction, but it's been a fun time to get back into it and to grapple with it and to learn it again. I've only had to restart my campaign like 5 times, but no pain, no pain. Just kidding. There's been lots of pain, plenty of pain, tons of pain. Um, that's XCOM, baby. But it's good. Pat is going to a baseball game tomorrow. What game are you going to? Didn't spring training start literally today? Feel like I'd save my. I know you really like baseball, so I can't blame you. That's for sure. But I feel like I personally would save my baseball watching for part of the season that actually matters. Then again, if your team sucks, none of the season matters. So, you do what you can. I was reading bizarre NFL stats the other day because this of course these things come up on Reddit, and somebody mentioned the fact that Tom Brady never played in a game where he was eliminated from playoff contention. In every single game that he played, he was in contention for eventually making it to the Super Bowl, which is a completely insane statistic. Somebody was even just listing up. Somebody said something like, you can make college baseball. Oh, neat. I forget college baseball is a thing. We just talk about like the minor leagues so often. I forget about college baseball. Oklahoma versus Wright State. I suppose we root for the home team. What the heck is Wright State? we have Wright's Farm over here. They've got chicken. No, Lafayette's barking again. Yeah, you get him, pup. You get him. Anyway. I get sucked into these rabbit holes frequently. You see an interesting post and you think, oh, you know what the heck is going on over? What are they doing over there? Um, and I was up reading that probably much later than I should have been awake. It was one of those nights where I just couldn't fall asleep. Like I was already in bed, and I don't know what, but something was just like, no, you got to stay awake. You got to stay a little bit awake. I don't know. I'm sure everyone has those nights. I feel like I have those nights before I have to travel more often than not, um, where I guess I'm just too excited. Like I'm too excited with the prospect of going somewhere, of getting on a train or a plane, and going somewhere else. Not that I'm super eager to escape from home, but okay, this is interesting because these are now sort of shaped weirdly. I think if I scoot this to the left, it'll help a little bit. I also need to scoot all these spline points back so that the curves show up. Oh shoot. Oh, I see. I see another issue that has developed here. Can I straighten this spline? I don't know if that's going to help very much. I guess we could have more of a I guess we could have more of a set of streets that are straight but have angled intersections instead of streets that are curved. Um, let's just move that like that, and that actually does make a difference. That is much better. Apparently, Wright State is out of Dayton, Ohio. I've never heard of them. Then again, I'm not a big baseball guy. I've talked about John Boyce getting me back into baseball many, many times. Um, I think, in some ways it goes without saying. It doesn't bear repeating. Uh, but because of that, I went to that game with O'Gillies and Vert last year, and I actually had a pretty good time. The pitch clock makes the game a lot faster. I feel like it's much more approachable for an audience of people that doesn't really care for baseball but just wants to put something on in the background. I like the idea. Oh, name for the Wright brothers. Oh, very curious. Very. I see. I see. Okay. Everyone trying to make that claim to Wright brothers fame. Um, insert spline point. Well, if they had invented like an airship, then I'd be more behind it. Airship gang, rise up. Literally, just like, you know, with a balloon. Never mind. So yeah, I during the last season, if I didn't really have anything to put on, I would at least consider throwing on whatever baseball game is on, because that's the other thing about baseball, is the fact that it has about 10,000 games every season for every team, means that there's always something on. Like there's always some baseball game playing, and yeah, that's nice. Okay, this is not ideal though. The fact that we have this, excuse me, the fact that we have this dirt edge here, and that we're not going to have it on the rest of these, I don't know. I mean, I might just be able to ignore it, but I just a really would like one of these roads that doesn't have any sidewalk on it and just has the embankment. Maybe I should put in a different like shade of pavement or whatever. Or one of these other macadams of different widths. If I put in a, yeah, you know what? I bet if I put in a 38 or a 40, something that's the same width, right? If I take this, oh, this is, oh, I can't rotate it. Yeah, okay. I had a feeling that was, um, that one's plus embankment, plus embankment. Um, but this one, nope, that's got both. Um, can I get one of these that doesn't have sidewalk but also is the right color? One sidewalk plus sidewalk with embankment. Ah man, like that's not helpful. And this one is a one sidewalk. Yeah, that's the one sidewalk one. I already looked at that. This is just 42. But the problem there is that it's facing the other. Wait a minute. What if I do this? Um. Okay, that's a place to start. If this was not in pursuit of perfection, as Dave Steed said, tomorrow I'll be perfect. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do it again. Hopefully we don't get cars just like appearing and disappearing. I think if we were to attach no vehicles invisible roads to like each end of this, then it would not be a problem, right? It would sort of it would never spawn a vehicle. But is that worth the effort? Remains the question every day of every year. Of every time building Tolbrand. Okay, so we're gonna have to do that again. At least this is a straight part of the road. Yeah, it is. It'll be a little bit less frustrating. But we do need a spline point here. And look at that, I'm staying in Surveyor 2.0 for this. Straighten spline. One day I may become one of those people that spends most of their time in Surveyor 2.0 and uh, jumps out only when I need to do something in the other mode. Okay, let's move this off the edge here. Yeah, getting this district done would be a real accomplishment for today. I don't know if it's a reasonable accomplishment. I don't know if it is the most effective use of our time. Okay, select an assets panel. I mean, work is work, right? As long as we get something done. That's something that I've been saying since the Tamaros Vale and Anaconda days. Progress is progress, no matter if it's on, the city or the countryside or the AI or the, whatever. It's all progress. It all works towards the end goal. I suppose AI is kind of an outlier there because in this case it really doesn't. We are not able to functionally continue with the AI because of AI issues, of them not throwing switches anymore, and just the inability to program industries, as I've talked about at great length. Um, Again, some things don't bear repeating. Anyway, um, we're gonna have to lower that into the ground. To come back to XCOM for a sec, I've always sort of like had this quiet hope that when I go to like make a new series and I ask the people what they want to see, it's going to be, oh yeah, we want to see you play XCOM. This is not this is not the audience for that. I am not a devout strategy game YouTuber. I do Trainz stuff. I bet people would be more excited if I did Steam and Steel on Roblox than they would if I did a series on XCOM. And even if that were not the case, if I am getting a phone call. 518. Hold on. Hello? Yes, what can I do for you? I'm alright. I am a little bit in the middle of something, though. I wasn't sure if this was important. I didn't recognize the number. Um, you're welcome to do so. Just my regards to the college is please restore the model railroad to its former glory. That's the only thing I care about. All right. Thank you. Bye. That was a call from an RPI freshman doing alumni outreach. And honestly, I probably would have chatted for a little bit because they seemed very personable. But usually my response is a pretty quick and to the point, like, I'm not giving you any more money until you fix the model railroad. That's that's my deal. I don't know if they were gonna ask for more money though. I mean, they probably were. That's the way it goes. Okay. I I want to get these all up to more or less the same level so that we can get rid of that awkward bump that we're looking at here. It's just, yeah, okay. That's probably fine. And I mean, yeah, it is piecemeal and it doesn't look fantastic, but if you think about it, that's not that unusual, right? Um, Smooth ground are selected. To have a really messed up stretch of road with different layers of pavement poking through. It's certainly something we all have seen before. Smooth ground are selected. So, emulating that, whether it's by accident or intentionally, isn't a bad thing. I want to move some of these buildings out of the way. That's a nice warehouse. We've used it before. I think didn't we use this over here? We did. So if we want to use it again, we're gonna have to find an interesting way to disguise it because I don't really want to be using the same stuff back to back. And this area is pretty much ready for. Oh, I need to move this to over here, just out of the way. Sometimes it's more like pavement peeking out of the dirt. Yeah, it really depends on your locale and your, and your roads. But I completely agree. I definitely know what you're talking about. Don't see it around here too much, but I've definitely seen it plenty, especially when you get up there in Maine. Um, and when I was in West Virginia as well, it was there were a lot of roads that were even marked as state highways, and it's like this is one lane of pavement, if that. Um, Sometimes there would be, sometimes it would be just a dirt road. Again, and these things were sometimes marked as state highways. It wasn't just in West Virginia. When I crossed into Virginia, Gloria and I went on a little adventure into Virginia proper to visit a petting zoo because I had promised something along those lines at some point during the trip. Um, and it, yeah, it became a mad dash because I had underestimated the amount of time that it was going to take to get there and back, and we had other plans. We had another booking, um, so we had to make it quick. And I was taking a shortcut down what I think was labeled a state highway, um, and it was just a dirt road pretty much. It had sections of pavement, but it was pretty much just a dirt road. And I had a whole lot of fun, honestly. I think Gloria thought they were going to die. Um, but, I suppose my point is I understand what you're talking about and agree. I don't know if we have any really good road splines that can emulate that, though, which is kind of a shame because that vibe is something that was much more common in the era of this route, in my understanding. There were plenty of paces. There were plenty of places that got pavement relatively late. Um, and like I say, there are plenty of places that still don't have pavement. At least not as regular of a feature as we sort of expect, or as we've become accustomed to the for those that live in and around built-up metropolitan areas, where every road is paved. You know, finding an unpaved road is weird. Um, I mean, I'm sure there are one or two in the city of Providence somewhere, and I'm not talking about back alleys. I'm talking about sort of the fringes. Oh, you know what? No, I can think of one. I can think of one, um, that's near me, but I'm not downtown by any stretch of the imagination. We'll do that one later because it's going to be annoying. So we'll rack back to here and we'll work our way back up. Um, so yeah, I mean, I know of an dirt road, but it is not common. It's not something you expect to see. It's something that, I effectively play for laughs. It's something that if I really want to surprise someone who has been to my house before, um, I'll take them that way and we'll go over the dirt road. Um, I have had to use it a couple of times because the road has been blocked by accident. You know, the main road has been blocked by an accident or by other sort of police activity or something like that. I never really figure out what it is. I know sometimes, uh, I know at least one of the times it's been road work, and I think one of the other times it's been cops. I don't know if it was for a an accident or something else. You never know in this neck of the woods. Um, so it's spline point here. Straighten this. Oh, come on. There we go. So anyway, I started blasting. That's what has to come after. So anyway, it's sort of like the what are you gonna do now? I'm going to Disney World. Like, it's just the autocomplete of my brain. That's what it says. There are a few things like that. Um, for a long time in my life, I was tortured because I would say the phrase "but just like, and I've probably still done it. You guys, if you go back, I'm certain you'll be able to catch me doing it. Um, I've probably done it this stream so far, but I was around someone who shall remain nameless, who I am still good friends with now. Where every time I said "but they would reply with "ts," as in "but tss." Drove me absolutely bonkers. Um, and it's something that is so funny that I think about it constantly. And not only that, but I think about it every time I say that and consciously acknowledge myself saying that. It's like, oh, of course, I'm doing the thing. If this person was around me, it would be I'd be paying for it, right? And I kind of wonder if that ever got me to change my ways a little bit or change the things that I said or my sort of idle statements, right? I feel like an NPC. Uh, I have a few voice lines. When you pull out the string on my back, I say them. But yeah, I wonder if that sort of changed me at all. So exploring point here. Delete this. Now that kind of self-actualization, for some reason, makes me think of Portal. There are very few people left that have never played Portal, and I, you know, I say that. Of course, that's an exaggeration. There are going to be people. I bet you at least two or three people here are going to chime in and say, "Oh, I've never played either Portal One or Portal 2." Um, I can't recommend them enough. I feel like the internet has recommended them plenty. You'll be behind the curve on the meme for sure. Like the cake is a lie isn't really that funny anymore. But I will respect you for using it, for whipping out that phrase after so many years. But really, I'll respect anyone who is jumping into Portal at its relatively advanced age, despite the fact that it is still a virtually unique gameplay experience for both of the games. I'm gonna need to go into regular Surveyor and fix this because I don't know how to do this in Surveyor 2.0. But yeah, I was watching someone play Portal 2 for the first time. Or sorry, play Portal 1 for the first time. Um, idle statement equals but yeah. You can code me. You can make Robo Ellis like that. For those who were there with us playing Merger Mania the other day, which that was a good time. We didn't have a full complement, but it was sort of nice to play the game and not be trying to figure out what of the three railroads left you want to take. Um, the let's do this. Yeah, we got to do some Merge Mania. It was a lot of fun. We made Jaderbot because Jader apparently had like a crazy snow squall in the middle of playing, which kind of jealous. Um, and had to go out and shovel. So it left us to just be like Jader, Jader, because he didn't say anything when he was leaving. At least I didn't hear him say anything when he was leaving. And yeah, it left us just wondering where he went, and then eventually having to sort of, sorry, having to just sort of give in and run a random number generator to make his picks. And we made picks that we thought were, well, sorry, I rolled the dice until uh, until it came up with a railroad that connected to Jader's system because I didn't want to just totally screw him over. I figured making, giving him an incremental expansion or something like that would be beneficial, would be better than the alternative. Would be better than just giving him disconnected system times a billion and tanking his score. Um, so yeah, we did that. That was fun. I really did think about it as like a concept for an AI player. And by I mean it would be worse than the AI in like Buckshot Roulette, right? It would be completely not understanding of the situation. It would just be rolling the dice, and if it didn't incur a massive penalty for whatever the railroad was, it would be awarded that railroad. Now, for those who don't know, Merger Mania is a game type that, or is a Google Earth game that we at the Horseman created, um, which involves KMZ files of about 130 different railroads. The KMZ files were created by, uh, or they came from a website, because I don't know, created by, called Mississippi Rails, which is a great website if you want to map railroads in Google Earth. And so we took all these KMZ files and we figured out how to make a game out of them. It has been through many iterations. I don't know what version we're on now, but it is definitely N version. It's certainly the best one. We've had rule changes and score adjustments and things like that. And I'm not saying that just because I won the last time we played. Uh, I'm not going to preach to the choir here too much because I know that the people who watch the stream are generally people that are in the Discord and know Merger Mania, if not have played Merger Mania several times. Um, but if you don't know what that is, I recommend you check out our community channel and also join our Discord. Both of those links are in the description of this stream. Uh, you can also visit our website, theironhorseman.com, and check out our unique line of locomotive versus trading cards, as they are so known. I will actually be squaring off in what I am aware of is, as far as I'm aware, the very first in-person Locodome match. 132 and counting. What does that mean? 132 matches of Locodome? Anyway. The very first in-person game of Locodome. I will be playing against Mew, who, everyone should sort of know from the Locodome bracket that we did. Oh, hold on, I need to do this. And I need to straighten this, and then I need to add a spline point and straighten that, because if not, it's going to look very bad. Mopac, you can't do this to me. When I say things, when they leave my mouth, they've left my brain. Like, I don't know what you're responding to. It's my own damn fault, but I'm confused. Okay, let's grab this again. But I'm looking forward to doing that. I have never played Locodome before, so it'll also be my very first game of Locodome. I want to play. I'm down to play pretty much whenever somebody is available and challenges me, and I'm also available. Of course, that's a relatively short window, isn't it? But I'm looking forward to doing 102, 132 railroads. Um, I'm still saying you could break off the Iron Mountain Southern off of the Missouri Pacific and give the remaining lines in Texas and Louisiana to the International Great Northern of St. Louis, Brownsville, and Mexico. I mean, maybe. I'm kind of happy where the game is right now, but if you feel like we need more, um, if you feel like we need more railroads down that way, or if we end up feeling like we need more railroads down that way, I will definitely take that advice to heart, because somebody who understands the railroads in the region, to make even like a quasi historical assessment of how to split things up, is incredibly valuable. When I broke up a couple of the other railroads already. I've broken up uh, the Union Pacific most famously. I've broken up the PRR, the New York Central. Um, I've broken up the Southern Pacific, and these entities still exist with those names, right? But they don't exist as sort of the largest versions of themselves, or even the versions of themselves that would be sort of contemporaneous with the other railroads that are in the game. Sorry, I was running out of voice. Uh, so instead, we have some stuff like the North Central Railroad, or the Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington. Those two, those are both examples of pieces of the Pennsylvania Railroad that we have excised. Also, the Camden and Amboy is alive. Um, and shoot, what's another good one that I've the Nevada, California, Oregon. Although these things that I'm mentioning do not assume that they are equivalent to their historical selves. And there's even a disclaimer I put up, because I would like to play this game with people who are unsuspecting and haven't been in the game for a very, very long, haven't been watching us play it since the beginning, but are just interested in railroads and road history. I could just say the word foamers and you would know what I mean. Um, but anyway, yeah, so I want to play this with some unsuspecting people. It just is a lot to ask 10 people to sit down and do a thing. And also, I am chicken. Uh, but, you know, let's do this. Let's scoot this back to here. Let's scoot this back to here. I just want these to sort of show properly. I guess it's not going to. What am I missing? Is this not straightened? Oh, it is. No, it is. I thought this would... The Frick would also have the Kansas City Memphis section given to the Kansas City something Scott and Memphis. Kansas City Fort Scott, I assume that is. I can't see the whole thing. Kansas City Fort Scott and Memphis, yeah. It would be nice. I mean, it's just the Midwest isn't really hurting, right? In terms of ways to get places. The place that was hurting the most was making transcons, going east to west, and I managed to make at least one more of those. But the fact of the matter is, not everyone gets them. Sort of like food or dark humor. Um, it's just a fact of life. There are only so many transcon routes that exist or have ever existed, and currently, they are pretty much. Oops, wrong thing. They're pretty much all divided into different. They're pretty much all under different railroads. I don't think anyone has a duplicate, right? The Union Pacific had like three. Um, and so that's one of the reasons why I had to saw them apart. The Southern Pacific didn't have multiple per se, but it had the option of multiple, and so I had to break that up and help that a little bit. Oh, that one should have no sidewalk because that's just that's the way it be. Um, yes, but more chaos. Well, I already put in the Muskogee roads in terms of random Midwestern things. The other thing is, and it is true. Oh, you know what? I can't do this. I have to do this with Give me this, and oh, you know what? Give me this, and then just one at a time we'll replace these with selected asset. Oh no, I screwed up this one. Selected asset. There we go. Um, yeah, you know, the Midwest doesn't have a problem. Replace with selected asset. Okay. Well, no, now that's a problem. Okay, so we don't have a good transition piece between these two things. I think having it like this is, oh shoot, no, like that is a little bit better, if not outstanding, because you have this is sort of like the more dominant pavement type. Not to profile it or anything, but let's do this. Nope, 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 nope. Scoot this back like that. And what I wanted to do was I want to scoot this all the way back to here because I want to take this and I want to do this with it. Oh, that didn't really help. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of works, but what I wanted to do was, you guys are probably onto me already. Like that. Like that. Um, because now, when I, smooth ground selected, when I sort of have this here, I mean, I should probably replace that piece of spline with rusty rails. Um, or maybe even the pavement rails, which I forgot that I had because we didn't have them in MPS for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Um, excuse me. But the idea was that this used to continue in that direction. Straight spline, not the KO and G. I think the KO and G is part of them. Kansas, Oklahoma, and Gulf. Yeah, it is. It's part of the Muskogee roads. I believe. I would have to check. I would have to open the KMZ, but I think I did include it under that because it was there are actually three independent railroads that are folded into that, and that's not the only. Those who know the game know that those aren't the only adjustments that we've made to historical railroads in terms of merging things together specifically. We have multiple railroads that are mashed together into like a really big version of the West Point route, like something that somebody would come up with for their fictional. Um, it's just I sort of looked at the arrangement of these railroads, and the only reason, oh shoot, wrong thing. The only reason you would have picked up one of them in the game is because you're picking up the other ones. Otherwise, it does not do anything for you unless you randomly started with it. And in that case, well, none of this really applies to you. Selected. Okay. And we've got 2 more of these intersections to do. And it's 8:38. Yeah, the Kansas, Oklahoma, and Gulf, pretty sure is in there. I mean, you can download it for yourself. I think I have them broken out in the actual CamZ file. I did my best when I was organizing, or when I was gamifying certain railroads. The SP comes to mind as well in this. To organize their individual pieces in a way that would make sense for somebody else looking at it, or at least help to explain why things are the way that they are. There are a couple of times where I've had to give away a piece of railroad because it would have been isolated otherwise, because it was built by a certain railroad, because another railroad owned them, or some such thing. And giving it to that other railroad sometimes made sense and sometimes did not. So I had to leave it with, just give it to whatever made sense, and then make a note of this item is from this other railroad. 50-50 shot here. Hey, we did it. Okay. Never would have done that in XCOM, that's for sure. Okay. So we've got our road set up for here. Are we missing any? We're missing these 2. And this big intersection is going to be another problem. I would like to use one of the transition pieces if we have one that works for what we're doing. But I don't know if we do, actually. So let me grab this. This is the 42-foot macadam. We also have the 42-foot macadam with no sidewalks. And also no pitches. Such is life. Insert spline point here, and on this side, insert spline point here. I really, really wish both sides stayed straightened when I did something like that. Replace with existing, or with selected, with existing. Now, I've been doing too much work, it would seem. Okay, here's the problem. Here's the problem. That's not going to line up right. Shit. We'll make it work. Hey, you guys know how I was saying earlier about having second dinner? Some way, somehow, I've become hungry again. Not hungry like I could eat, but I'm thinking about food that I had in the past, and I feel like if this isn't a common occurrence for you, it should be, because remembering food is way better than remembering ice cream. I know some people know the adage that remembering ice cream is always sad, because you don't have ice cream with you, I assume is the completion of that statement. But, I think about the food that I've eaten a lot, and I send a message to Gloria every single time I'm craving something, which is a frightening number of messages per day. It's amazing that I haven't been dumped yet. Okay, we gotta run up to, I think here has the right sidewalks. Or some kind of sidewalk. Where are they? Did I make it look too good? No, it's right here. Nope, wrong thing. Oh, because it's this edge, isn't it? Pavement slabs. Yeah, there we go. I do want to get back to track work, too. I'm just a little tired of track work. I do want to go into MPS and take some screenshots and some video of the work that I did in there, because I am, like, by the day, increasingly concerned that it's just all going to evaporate at some point, because stuff's breaking. Now, Kavan mentioned that they're adding support for backups soon, which is exciting because not because it means necessarily that I could rescue stuff, right? That I've built in there, but it means that now you have a way to go. Excuse me. Now you have a way to go from a single player route to an MPS route back to a single player route. And that I think is really that could do really interesting things for collaborations in MPS. Because oh shoot. Because if you think about it, you can have people work on stuff offline. Like say this, for instance, say I was doing this. Uh I could if I had all the assets, if I had all the assets available and on the DLS, which again is something that I've wanted to do with Tolbrand and hopefully would be, the case. Um, oh, and I'm on the ground. Uh, then I could actually just take this and I could put it up on the download station, or I could put it up on MPS, right? I could have a bunch of people come on and help me. I could have people work on it. Not that this is an ideal situation for me, because honestly, I don't really want to do that. I'd rather be just working on this by myself. Can you not? But the point is, I could get a bunch of people on as Supreme Helper minions. Get a bunch of work done like that, and then export it back out to single player to continue working on it, and not rely on it being on MPS all the time. Now, I think that's awesome. I think that's fantastic, and if we are able to do that relatively seamlessly, it's going to be a huge deal. People are going to find ways to be incredibly collaborative with it. Again, not something I'm probably personally going to organize. Not something that I'm probably personally going to take advantage of. Again, aside from maybe rescuing some of the stuff that I've built off of MPS, and maybe some stuff that other people have built if I, can get permission to borrow it and transplant it into Tolbrand here. But like there are some things that I'm very proud of. There are some things that I'm genuinely very proud of. I think we're gonna leave that corner and that corner the way that they are. If I had a little catch basin, wish Mason was here because I would ask him if he knows if there are any catch basin items. Because I would absolutely just drop one on that corner and call it a day. It would make a very good piece of coverage. Nope. Alright, let's start from here then. I think that triangle is kind of good. The gutters just end at the corner. Again, not great, but passable. You can come and you can look at it from a distance and see that the roads meet. It's not bad. We're going to have another one to do here, which is going to be equally as annoying and fidgety and finicky. But these are the kind of things where I suppose what I can do is take solace in the idea that we only have to do these once. As long as the game saves at the end of the day, it is progress that is notched in our belt, that is latched in for future, that this intersection is done. I feel like people don't give enough credit to little progress. And I don't mean on this route, I mean on their own routes. And that's why I try to express, or try to impress the idea, I think that's the word I'm looking for, that you need to set incremental goals. If you're not going to force yourself to work on the thing for, a set amount of time every day or every week or whatever, if you're not going to have a regimen, right? You need to set small, reasonable goals that you can actually attain in 1 or 2 sessions, or at least ones that you can sort of look at and have noticeable progress towards every time. And it doesn't matter if that's like working on one block of a town, or or working on one baseboard's worth of scenery, or landscape, or what have you. Um, it doesn't matter what you end up using as your measuring stick, as long as you can be satisfied with the progress that you're looking at. Hello, Orion. Um, okay. So let's stop messing this up and put this here, and then put this here. Yeah, this is a feasible. I keep standing. I keep getting on the ground. If Lafayette was in this game, he'd love me right now. He loves it when people get on the ground. He loves it when people get on his level. Okay, so we've got prototype bulb outs. I know goal setting is a common motivational practice, but I never even thought of doing that with my projects. It's important. It's incredibly important, I feel like, because even something that you really enjoy doing, if it takes a really long time, you might stop enjoying it in the middle. You want to have something that you can congratulate yourself on. You want to have something that you can look back and sort of dust your hands off and say, I'm done with this, or at least I'm halfway done with this, right? And that's why I don't talk about getting Tolbrin done as a serious consideration. If I do someday, that'd be great. But I want to get Bellington done. I want to get this little section done. I want to get the factories along the waterfront done. Like I said, if we can get this track arrangement set up today, that's more than enough. I mean, we only have another hour or so to do it before I'm going to detour and look at the Minecraft mod stuff. Yes, I didn't forget about that. I was wondering if anyone was going to say anything, frankly. But, at least I can look at, I can look at this. I can say, all of these intersections are done. Except for this one, which, because we don't know what the bridge is going to look like, all of these intersections are done. We could start dropping down buildings in this sort of sector of town and not sweat it. But something really menial I'd like to do right now is this. So, we are going to jump back into Surveyor Classic. And we're going to grab... Well, I guess we should just grab a height, right? Just grab this height, 70.81. Or maybe even... What is the highest height of this corner? Because I think this has been increased. 72. Okay. Yeah, I can work with that. Radius. Use height. And we just have to fill this in. Again, very tedious, very menial, but it's got to be done. If I could make it so that baseboards showed up with a height already installed, that would make my life so much easier. Lava should be a fuel type unless we want to pull a custom liquid to represent oil-fired locomotives. I mean, I was always figuring that, because I don't feel like figuring out a track system, that this would sort of use industrial, like it would be an expansion on shoot, what's it called? The big one, immersive engineering. Where you'd have to have immersive engineering at least to do this, if not immersive... Well, you'd need immersive railroading, too. It would just... I wasn't even necessarily even thinking of rolling stock, too. I mean, I was considering it. But it would be maybe an immersive railroading thing where if you put it in, it would disable all of the other IR stuff except for the track. And whatever, sort of is most importantly associated with that. Hello, Evan. Because I don't really feel like figuring out my own track system. Again, it's not really important because uh, this isn't a real mod, and it probably never will be. But you know, Evan says today is a good day. Why is today a good day? I can tell you why today is a good day for me, aside from the fact that I'm doing this stream. But I'd like to hear your answer first. I'll grant you that. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I like it when people come in and say that they're having a good day. It lifts my spirits to be a part of somebody's good day. Of course, I certainly don't mind if somebody were to come in and say that they're having a cruddy day, because then I can try to make it less cruddy. But you know, it is what it is. Um, we are a pretty decent way done with this. I get to watch the stream for a bit. Usually I have work or something and can't. Oh, that's sweet then. So I am the good day. That's all. I love to hear that. So I will reciprocate and say that the reason why today is a good day, and I had to get reminded of this because I didn't know. Don't stop the stream yet. Don't worry, Bryson, I won't. You've got another hour. Um, give or take. It is 11 years to the day that I was given my first car. And I do say given. I am one of those lucky saps that I got given a car. Now, it wasn't like a brand new Mercedes-Benz in the driveway with a bow on it. It was a, oh shoot, at the time, well, let's see, 11 years ago. Uh, 11 years ago was 2013. That's frightening to think. 11 years ago was 2013. The car was built 30 years ago. Okay, so 30 minus 11 is 19. So it was a 19-year-old Volvo 940, a sedan in blue, special order cloth seats. I sometimes say I inherited the car, or it was bequeathed to me, but it wasn't because anybody died. I guess my mom's like patience for dealing with a 20-year-old car died that day, and she went out and bought a Fiat 500 that she had for 10 years. And that we went to all sorts of great Fiat events with. Rest in peace, Penny. But yeah, I got that. In 2013, I was 8 years old. Jesus Christ. Oh man, I feel ancient. You guys missed. If you roll back to the beginning of the stream, I was proving something, which I can share it again in the future because I kind of screwed it up. But like the first minute or two of the stream before we started Not Tetris, I was finishing something. In 2018, I was also 8. I got mine earlier than I should have. I think you know the sad story, yeah. It was 12. Shoot, all you people are young. People are babies. And let's see, how old was I 11 years ago? I don't even know how old I am now. I don't care. Never mind, I'm not figuring out. I assume this is Nelly. Yeah, it is Nelly. So Matt has driven this car, as have O'Gillies and I think Graham and, well, you know, Graham did for a good portion of that trip. O'Gillies and Graham and Dean has driven the hell out of it. It's Dean's favorite car, I'm pretty sure. I figured there wasn't another blue 940. Yeah, no, I was waiting to see who would sort of ask the question first. Currently in my driveway with the I haven't driven it in like over a week. Shoot, the hell was I about to say? Currently in my driveway with the windshield wipers pointing towards the sky because it snowed and I haven't driven it since. I don't drive very much. What's hot? Are you talking about the book with Gianna? Yeah, good, but you keep spoiling it for me. Do you remember Ed churned butter tonight? I have been drinking water. There's no water left in here, almost. Okay, there is still a little bit of water left in here, but it's not helping very much.
Do you want a cough drop?
I would love a cough drop, actually. Please. I need to ask you about something. Also, Bryson just came in and said glorious segment. Um, Mills, thank you for the responsibility of driving your first car. I didn't realize it was that important despite seeing the pic of baby you in front of it. Yeah. No, it was my first car. It's okay, Matt. I already crashed it. I have crashed it. Gianna has crashed it. I don't think anybody else has crashed it. It's just been me and Gianna. Um, but I have crashed it more than once. So even if you had crashed it while driving in the snow or whatever, it still I still would have had top of the leaderboard on wrecking that car. That's why it lived in a garage for 4 years. Uh, why is the ground so smooth? It's just this texture. It looks like the surface of Minmus. It looks like it's like pistachio ice cream. What would you? Is this pistachio ice cream or not?
The color?
Yeah.
It's more like a seafoam. No, not a seafoam.
Okay, I would like your answer in flavors of ice cream, please.
Oh, and flavors of ice cream?
Yeah. It's not mint chocolate chip. It's definitely pistachio. I don't know. I don't look at pistachio ice cream very much. I don't know why I've never had pistachio ice cream, given the fact that I love pistachios.
Ice cream is tits.
Is it? We should get some. We should if Tillamook brand ice cream, which this is not a sponsor segment, but Tillamook brand ice cream is some of the best ice cream I've ever had.
Also, Sarah J. Maas is not sponsoring me to speak about her book, but it's fucking fantastic.
Ellis, that's wasabi cream. Wasabi ice cream. Yeah, no, you're right. It is totally wasabi. It looks like the little wasabi we got with our sushi. Anyway, remember that train video I mentioned? Turns out it's the only video evidence of that tornado. Isn't I mean, that video is kind of old. I'm not overly surprised. I think that video predates everyone having a studio quality camera in their pocket. Anyway, it does look like wasabi ice cream. Oh, do you remember? Because this came up earlier today when I was browsing Reddit. Do you remember the episode of Stargate where they went to the planet with like the mute bald people that had like the white like swirls over their body, and they started getting like some sort of infection and had the plants that would bloom randomly, and Daniel was trying to film them? Because I would be impressed if you remembered it, because I didn't really remember it, but it's a relatively early episode, and Daniel and Jack have this conversation where they basically just are yelling at each other of like what does that mean? I don't know! And I was just watching that clip going, this is every conversation I have with Waria. And I love it.
Live for it.
Mm-hmm.
You live, laugh, love it.
Alright, you may leave the room.
No. I live here too, damn it.
You live, laugh, love here?
You
You each die here.
eat shit, die.
Yeah. I should have brought you home an ES&D piss cup. from ISIS from when we were doing the stream. Mute bald people is legit how I described some of the classmates I had in high school. Well, I mean, that's interesting. There are definitely mute bald people. They definitely do exist. I got into one of the oldest animes ever. Heard of Star Blazers? No, I God damn it, Matt. Baby.
What?
You need to come here and witness this with me. I don't want to speak it aloud, so I need you to see it. What Matt just wrote. It's heinous.
What did he... Matthew! You know what that deserves? That deserves basement time.
That deserves basement time. Did Matt get locked in the basement? I know we locked the Jillies in the basement. And by we, I mean I was not complicit in that in any way, shape, or form.
Did they lock it
They for like a second. I think it was Achilles that got locked in the basement. As soon as soon as people figured out there was a lock on the basement door, people started getting locked in the basement. You know, Space Battleship Yamato. I mean, I know of it. I've never watched it. I'm not a big anime guy. I have watched, oh god, like a couple of episodes of this and that. I've watched some things that probably do not count as anime that I would sort of think might be anime. But I think the only thing that I can say, like, yes, that is anime and I have watched it, is I've seen like one or two episodes of Full Metal Alchemist, and nothing other than that.
I've seen One Piece, Naruto, Blue Exorcist,
One Piece, Naruto, Blue Exorcist. Gloria's listing off the
Bleach,
anime that they've seen.
Dragon
Bleach.
Ball Z.
Oh, I've seen plenty of memes from Dragon Ball Z.
Um,
Don't you lecture me with your $30 haircut.
Death Note. I was very into
Uh,
Death Note at one point.
oh, really? Death Note.
Yeah.
Death Note is a fun one. Like, I've seen a lot of sort of stuff using the Death Note concept. And I understand Matt has been getting into anime lately. Matt posted a post of something that they drew from I don't remember the name of the anime, but it was very 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 nicely drawn. Matt, you're like the last person I expected them to turn into a weeb, but of course you spend enough time, like enough exposure to the four foamers, and it just happens. Um, I understand. I'm sorry. I'll pour one out for you. Um, anyway, speaking of battleships, my dad dropped by today, and one of the things he asked, there were two things that he wanted. One was to see his grandson, and by that I mean Lafayette, of course. Uh, and the second was to pick up my DVD copy of Battleship because he wants to watch it again. Uh, Incidentally, we were just talking about this movie in The Horseman this morning, but and there it is. 1890s Missouri destroyed an alien battleship while power sliding. Yep. Uh, so, ah, man, what a movie. What a damn movie. Not my fault that I love good stories and love stories, and oops, they have many of them. Yeah, I mean, I certainly, I really don't have anything critical to say about anime, like as a genre or anything. I wouldn't know the first thing about it to sort of make a judgment, or to pass judgment anyway. Of course, I have to recognize that it is a vast well of content of all shapes and forms. It's like trying to critique television as a whole almost. Um, yeah, Battleship, as in the cheesy movie based on the board game. I love that movie. Um, it is incredibly cheesy. Um, do you know that We Need to Borrow Your Boat scene is loosely based on a real event? I thought it was a documentary. I mean, of course it is. It's the time that they fought off aliens with the Missouri, when they only had one shell left and they had to carry it from one end of the ship to the other. It's such a wacky film. Somebody really sat down and like pitched that idea to a boardroom full of executives, and they funded it. Um, uh, if we want to be technical, Battleship is technically an Esser lane of Cankle fiction. Um, oh shoot, I am accidentally lowering the ground here instead of raising it. I need to do some height bumping, uh, to 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 sort of raise the land in this direction. I need to not just go over it with the plateau tool and call it a day. This also is going to need more land raising, but probably not much, because it's all going to be fairly flat. Oh god, the book's getting spicy. I bet. Gloria's saying things over there. I've talked about Sarah J. Maas books before, and the A Court of Thorns and Roses series that we have been both reading. Glory's staring intently into the pages. This is... I'm gonna get dragged off screen. Death by Snoo Snoo.
It's not that spicy yet.
Yet! She says yet! Oh god. Okay. Okay, so... My biggest issue in anime is the fan service. Okay, so... I wanted to put a couple of tracks here for some kind of industry. And we were sifting through... those KCS... Uh... We were sifting through those KCS documents to look for a some interesting stuff. Uh, New game unlocked. Guess the book's plot just by the background Gloria sounds. TM. Uh, okay. And yeah, I am glad to hear that that Battleship New Jersey is getting the love that it needs in dry dock, or will be shortly rather. Um, I don't really keep tabs on Battleship New Jersey, but I do have to say that their presenter, their host, right, the guy who does the voice work for all the videos and is on screen, um, his name escapes me, but he has become so much of a better presenter over the years since the channel started. I used to have trouble like watching him. Like I don't know, it was he has a very distinctive way of speaking that I was struggling with. And he's gotten so much better, like worlds better, you know, to the point where I have definitely much enjoyed the content when I have decided to watch it. Of course, I watch it much more when Drakenfell is there. The only reason they're working on these old battleships is Russia? No, they're working on these old battleships because they have been sitting for ages and ages, and finally there is enough there's enough support and funding to put them into dry dock and get them the maintenance that they need and deserve. Uh, nobody, nobody is seriously considering taking the USS Texas and the USS New Jersey out to beat up on the Russians for some reason. Uh, they would be like ineffectual is not the right word, but they're not what you need. They're not what you would ever need in a modern war. Um, Aside from the fact that Russia effectively has no viable service combatants, um, well, I won't say no viable service combatants, but they don't have the ability to force project um, in the way that a simple carrier group can. So, it's not the U.S. Navy doing some sort of secret gearing up of a battleship fleet so that we can go tooling around the world with them. Anyway, Russia ain't the reason. The reason is donations and popularity. Yeah, no, I mean honestly, yeah, we have seen we have seen stuff like Drakenfell, and we're in an age of influencers, and I use that word. People are going to be like, "Oh, influencers," but I I use that word because I don't really. There's not like another word for it. Uh, just personalities online are able to drum up more support for just a random thing than they ever have in the past. Um, I will say, reactivating the Kirov battle cruisers would be straight up baller, and I'm here for it. It would be. I mean, I love a good nuclear powered service combatant. Um, we should do more of those. I mean, yes, it would be ecological disaster if somebody blows one up. But you know, it's you gotta break a few eggs or whatever. Um, anyway, there's somewhere I have a website of all of the Russian like nuclear oopsies incidents, and this is more than just the laser pig America's missing nukes video. Because I was looking up, I went down a tangent about uh, about the Russian nuclear lighthouses, the Soviet era nuclear powered lighthouses, which are so cool, by the way. They're just really neat in their own right. Um, they basically are all gone because GPS, but you know, yeah, I went down a rabbit hole about that and the Russian radioisotope generators that they use to power those. It's a they it's a mess. It's some of them have just sort of disappeared or shown up in random places in random junkyards with no casing on them, or just like accidentally dropped from a helicopter into the Black Sea on 3 separate occasions. Um, it's not historically Soviet handling of nuclear materials has not been like has not had the greatest track record, and after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, it definitely hasn't gotten any better. Um, like like way worse, like way worse. Um, okay, so we need to figure out what we're doing at these places. Now we need to remember that this place is a breadbasket. The Black Sea will soon become the radiant green sea. Yeah. Um, oh, right. Before we do that, we do need to catalog all of the other commodities that we got that we don't have right now. So we need to add a bunch of stuff to spreadsheets. And I'm sorry, we are going to do spreadsheets today. Um, so exit surveyor, override existing session, and I'll turn on my screen. And we're going to do some boring spreadsheets. And I didn't even eat this. It's sitting in front of me. My throat is killing me. Where's the dog? Yeah, I think he's in the living room. Okay, so we're going to have to go back to our... Whoa. New route. I think... I don't remember which session I was working in. This is why you should only ever have one session. Okay, it was this one. I need to mark down the stuff in these, which cows, Jersey, O1 load, and cattle, which I think we have cattle, but I don't know about cows, Jersey, O1 load. The end of the day is, all of these boxcars I think are things that we're going to need or want to use. And I feel like I should put all of these... Oh wait, no, not this one. No, okay. So, was this row the row of, like, useless stuff? Created machine parts load and lumber. I mean, do we have created machine parts load? Oh. Oh, we don't. We don't have created machine parts load. That's kind of fascinating. Um, yeah. And yes, I also do agree that the Kirov class is a good looking... There's some good looking ships. What the hell? What did I just do? What did that just say? Okay. So, max load 7. That's this one. This can be... We don't need this. This is in fact garbage. Get rid of this. Um, This one has created machine parts load, which this is a 36-foot supply boxcar one. Oh wait, no, sorry. No, not this one. This one. This one is 36-foot boxcar ERSX late. That's Eagle River Railway and Timber Company. If you saw a Kirov silhouette in the horizon, what are the chances that you would have it confused with an Alaska? Hold on, let me look up a Kirov again. Kirov class battlecruiser. As far as silhouette goes, no, probably not, because the thing is, Alaska class, it also comes up as a battlecruiser. No, the thing with the Alaska is it's got that. I guess they both have that big space in between. I mean, yeah, you know what? I could see how you would get it confused. The thing it's missing though is gun turrets. So the Alaska has a very, very like, it has a particularly narrow superstructure in the front. Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe if I couldn't see the fact that it didn't have guns, I would wonder if it's in Alaska. But if I really got my sights on it, I would probably be able to identify the thing. I remember being proud of myself that I identified an Alaska class in one of the War Thunder trailers, um, only because I had recently watched the Drakonival video on it. So we need to load these guys into the spreadsheet. I'm gonna switch to screen view for this so that you can see, and I'm gonna try to keep the chat open on the side. So let's do this. But I can't. I'm not a warship expert by any stretch of the imagination, so maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. Okay, so this is 36-foot boxcar ERSX light, and so it's probably going to go. Probably going to go here. And Alaska's look more like Iowa's from a distance. Eh, yeah, to some extent. To some extent, I definitely agree. They do, but unfortunately, nobody here is really going to have the opportunity to ever, get confused with an Alaska from a distance because we don't have any surviving Alaskas. Well, such is life. Would have been an interesting one. It's a shame that so many cruisers sort of went by the wayside. The battle wagon stayed around for good reason. Shore bombardment with an 18 or with a 16-inch gun isn't anything to shake a stick at. But the cruisers, it's just like they were doctrinally outmoded so fast. Anyway, let's do that. And then units, units, Q, item. And then we'll make this, and we'll grab the name of this, which we can just do here. 36-foot boxcar ERSX light. All right, it's got 4 things, 4 whole things. Starts with general goods, which is the crate kind. General goods. Crate standard gauge. So this. This is not going to be a preferred one because it doesn't carry 40. It carries 32. Units Q item. It's been a long damn time since I've done this. So units is 32. Q is 0. Item is 0. And it's going to be this light blue color because it's not preferred, but it is possible. Let's see. What is this color? It's the second one down in the lighter blue column. Okay, so that's that, and I need to remember what my standard preferred alternate. Use with caution. I don't know if Q number too high. Commodity unavailable. Okay. We don't have any commodity unavailables anymore. I don't think. We might have to. Why is this yellow? I don't remember what that means. I don't remember why that's yellow. Um, okay, so next thing is oranges. Just a commodity that is oranges. Uh, I guess I don't have that because I would have gone right by it, right? Oh yeah, we have orange palette, but not oranges. We need to have industry that just takes oranges and takes pallets and outputs orange pallets. Like it's friggin' Factorio. Um, let's see. Oranges is gonna be here. Oranges. Um, oranges. Monkey banana oranges. Okay, and that's gonna be uh 32. How are these set up? Is this just an equals whatever? Yeah. It's 32. Nope. Enter. 0, Q0, item number 1. And then this and purple, which is this one, I think. Nope, too far down. This one. Got oranges. Um, lumber is in the next queue. Not that we would ever want to use this for lumber. But lumber here, this is going to be a max load of 1 lumber. 1 in this boxcar, which, you know what, I guess it makes sense, but would have won Alaska class versus Stalingrad? I wouldn't know. I would have to research the Stalingrad class. Um, lumber. I would probably, knowing nothing here, I would probably put my money on the Alaskas because they're the Alaskas. Kind of a no-brainer. Congratulations. Is that right where the smut ended so you could put the book down?
No, these are my songs.
Oh, so the smut continues?
There's no sex scenes yet.
I don't know about with those. Okay. 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 Sure. Created machine parts load. I thought I screwed up my ankle squeezing between the fences to get into to go on my walk today. Created machine parts load. QR. CRA. Start one up. Created machine parts load. What's funny is I think we have stuff that is related to created machine parts load. This is going to be 1, 1, 1. Oh, nope, those are 2s. And then this is, of course, going to be this purple color and bold and equals 1 because that's just the way it is. And let me just double check to make sure that we didn't accidentally... Oh, did I see one? Some of these, sometimes when you make the extended, when you add something, right? Like if I go to oranges, if we go across on this, there might be some extra, yeah, there we go, like that. So I just have to do that. But that was a tank car commodity, so there should only be one of those. And then created machine parts load. So it didn't grab the one that was right above it, it grabbed the one that was right below it. So let's do that. And these 2 as well, so that's, I guess, crude oil. Oh, it's in multiple tank cars. Interesting that they're both above fluids. That's a weird coincidence. Okay, so that's one thing done. So I guess we're not getting those industries done today because I just want more options, right? These are the same. New York Central and Hudson River. You know what I need to do? I need to start putting in, like, alternates, right? I need to make space down at the bottom here for alternate, like, what these rail cars are. Like, the 2-bay ACF covered hopper Boston and Maine. I could have the Gilson Eastern ones. I could have the, I think we have VMR or Zion and Skyline ones. Do I consider Strongholm an armored cruiser, battle cruiser, pocket battleship, or battleship? I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I really like the name Pocket Battleship, so I'm gonna go with that. With nothing else like in mind. Okay, so these four are all the same, which is interesting because this one is different. Um, but they have exactly the same commodity set, except this one is backwards. Oh, that's frightfully annoying. Um, okay, I can't open two windows at once, I guess. Yeah. So lumber is not first in this window. Um, machine parts, machine parts. Okay, so these guys are good alternates to this one, but only if it's marked as such. I can't functionally interchange them. Um, for those who play RRO, who would like the following: flat car with skidder or derrick crane car? Depends. Are you loading the stuff? Are you fixing derailments with the crane car? Okay, this is useless. The Baby Ruth car is a good measuring stick and nothing more. TH and Bricks car, useless. Oh, I think these things on this back track have something in common. Uh, Baltimore and Ohio disposable car. Sorry, fast disposable service. Burlington Northern. A little too new. I think I'm just going to leave it here for now, but it's a little too new. I mean, we've got General Auto Parts, Automobile Engine. I don't know if we have those things already. Automobile Engine. I think we might have these things already. Cement bag pallet for canner pallet, fertilizer bag pallet, IKEA pallet, flour bag pallet, pallet of stock feed bags. I think we have all this stuff already. Actually, John underscore Deere underscore tractor is something I don't think we have. We do have John Deere tractor, but not with the underscores. That said, oh yeah, you can fit more tractors in this boxcar. Whatever, I don't need a second tractors. I'll leave that there for now. This one carries automobiles, general goods, butter on a pallet, paper roll, paper roll, paper roll. We have paper roll, right? And we have butter pallet, right? I think we've talked about this before. Butter pallet, paper roll rolls off the tongue. Okay. And then loads for this. General goods, lumber types. We've got 16-foot lumber stack. All right, this stuff is not interesting. Mr. President, a second tractor, yes. This is an Iron Horseman boxcar, which is the same. Green Bay Western boxcar. All these pallets: butter pallet, beer, cheese, apples. I think, do we have apple pallets? We do. We need to get an orchard so we can take these things out of there. Kleenex, Charmin paper towels, and Angel Soft. So that's something else to consider. We also have YZ General Goods, which is a different kind of general goods, and Hope Bale Load. Now, these are new things. As much as I don't really want to include this boxcar in particular, because it is a little out of date, right? It's a little anachronistic in the bad way, where it's too new. Anachronistic in the old way is good. Anachronistic in the new way is bad. That's ageism. Anyway, this should not be here. This should be under 36. These things are not in alphabetical order. Oh no. They're not. Why did I never... This is ZNS 50-foot gondola. This needs to be way down here. Why are these out of order? What have I done? Come on, can I go back just a little bit? Why does it keep going back to the damn beginning? No! I missed it again. Nope, we're back at the beginning. No! Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I need to remember what's right before the end and not go past it. Oh, 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 what? That's not fair. Oh, it jumps. It jumps. It's not working with me. Huh? 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 Oh. Oh. Okay. All right, we're not moving it the whole time at once. We're not. We're not. We're not. We're just gonna get it close. Nope. Nope. I keep flying too close to the sun. Put it there. We'll just. No. No. Move it one at a time. Maybe this is why they're not in order. It's like I'm playing the impossible game. Please let me just put it at the end. And you know, I'm not going to be able to let it go either. I'm not going to be able to let it go. So I'm going to have to come back to here and just... What? This is outrageous. It's unfair. I'm going to put it there for now. Then I'm going to move it past the standard oil tanker 1. Okay. And then I'm going to take these two things and I'm going to move them to this side of the ZNS gondola. Calm. 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 Why are these out of order? Why did I not put them in alphabetical order to begin with? 36 Buzzard Valley Railroad boxcar. That's gotta go, like, here, right? No, it's gotta go here, because it's 36 and then a space. Okay. Okay. Is anything else out of order? Borden's boxcar, DES, EBT Hopper. This is missing a thing. OPPQRST. Wait a minute. There. Like so. Okay, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think we all good. Say hi to my father who's a truck driver and get a PS5 as well as a monitor. See ya. See ya, Orion. Oh shoot. I have closed all of my tabs. Oh no, I just collapsed them. Okay, so where were we? Green Bay Western, 50-foot boxcar, which starts with a G. DES, EF, G, green, GR is after GO. So I'm going to insert one column left, insert one column left, insert one column right to shake things up. I'm seeing messed up things in here. As this list gets bigger, adding stuff is going to get harder. I'm not excited about it. You shouldn't be either, unless you like to watch me flail around on a spreadsheet. Yeah. Units, Q, item. Okay. Let's do that. I had that saved. I still had that in the clipboard. I'm not used to that being that easy. Beer pallet 84. This can have 84 beer pallets? That carries a lot of beer. It's a shame that I can't, you know, that I have to mark this as light blue because I've already sort of given that to a different boxcar, and I already decided that the car load is 34 based on the copper range boxcar, when this is more than double it. Anyway, butter palette, also 84. This is gonna be a theme. That was beer. Butter is down here. Butter palette, 8401. We can get away with using these for partial loads, but I don't really want to mess with that. Apple palette, 84. Same thing. Apple palette here. Apple palette, Trainz, and the boots with the fur. Oops. Mark that off. We will have stuff that is unique to this. Cheese palette. 8403, right? 3. I apologize, sort of. This is going to be the rest of the night, but if we can get these things squared away, then we can, go back. Sorry. If we can get these things squared away, then we can, sort of add industries, right? Because we know where we can go. Also, if anybody finds rail cars on the download station with unique commodities that are not on this list, not that you have to memorize this list, well, I'll give you the link to the document if you're interested, anyone. If you're in the Discord, you actually should have a link to this entire folder. It's in the Tolbrin Peninsula channel. Should be, anyway. Tolbrin Peninsula thread in the Fake Model Railroading channel. If you find something, please let me know. It would be a great help. Okay, so where were we? We were on orange palette, which I assume, in fact, describes the contents of the palette and not just the color. But if I were to have fun with it, I would have this as a boxcar for delivering orange pallets. Instead of... I know we have a pallet load somewhere. Anyway. Next up, Angel Soft palette. So this is going to be stuff that is coming out of this is stuff that's going to be coming out of the paper mill, or paper mills. A-N-G. I can be your angel, or I can be your angle or your devil. Angel Soft, and I think that is a space between palette. Oops. It has to be exact. Mostly for my sanity, but as long as everything is exact, you know, then it's... also, this is... I'm noticing that this is load 1, load 2, and load 3 now, instead of Q1, Q2. So that has changed. So that's interesting. I don't really like that, because I'm afraid that's going to mess up everything. Although Centerfold is a great song. Dispatch status available for dispatch. Whatever. I'm gonna keep indexing from 0, and if I have to change it all later, then I'll change it all later. I wonder if there's a find and replace, just increment everything by 1. Angel Soft palette, that is load 2, or in this case Q1, item 0. And this is the only thing we have for this. So it's going to be this color, it's going to be bold, and it's going to be equals 56 for a carload. Next, Charmin paper towels. We're not sponsored, by the way. It'd be very funny. towels. Towels. If we got sponsored by one of these things that we're using the assets from. This isn't some kind of copyright infringement. Oh, right above the cheese palette, it would seem. Charmin paper towels, it is 5611. 5611. This is also the only place that this appears. So it's, excuse me, gonna go like that. We also are gonna need to do cleanup on all of these when we see them. But it's not that big a deal. I believe the Angel Soft is also that was a new one as well. Alright, Kleenex. Very few things we have start with K. Kleenex. Palette. Right here, Green Bay Western. Kleenex palette. 56. 1, 2. Embolden that. And that. Okay, nothing else for that. Before we go on to the next one, I'm thinking I double check the Angel Soft for stuff like that. There's going to be at least one. Oh, it's not the ammonia like I expected. It was the anthracite broken coal, which we can do some really interesting stuff with, like a deep coal commodity chain using using those different kinds of coal. Paper roll, 5 by 5 feet. Let's go down to P. And we'll put it right after paper roll. We'll say paper, is it capital R? It is capital R, so that makes a difference. Paper roll, and then space, open parenthesis, 5, no space X, 5, FT, close parenthesis. And I think that's the whole name. Yep. And so we take that and we go hide this. We put it in the Green Bay Western boxcar. We say it's, what is it, 34? 38. 38. Q2 item 0. Bold, magenta, purplish, and that. Let's make sure we didn't create any other undue things. No, it was just this. It was for the wooden stack, or wooden sleepers stack, which is a commodity that I don't actually really want to use. Because, like I said, I want this railroad to be a railroad in stasis, and I'm going to have to take this necklace off because it's making my neck itchy. I still love you, though. YZ bricks on wood pallet. Alright, we gotta go down to Y. It's already quarter up, holy cow. YZ, and then B comes after numbers. YZ bricks on wood pallet. I think that's it. Oh, it's and then load in parentheses. Load. The Milwaukee load. Hey, wait a minute. Bricks on wood pallet. It's going to be 32. 32. And I believe that's 30 because this is load 4. Even if it wasn't organized like that, I wonder if I did it because of the loading command started with an index of 0. I wonder if the loading command has an update. In fact, I should go and like highlight everything and just right-click download and see if anything has an update. I don't think I'm sticking on any old stuff for any particular reason. Although, yeah, and since I'm not using like any modified things, it's not gonna be a problem, I wouldn't think. Okay, next up is YZ blocks on wood palette, which actually comes before this alphabetically. YZ blocks on wood palette. Load. I assume it is load. Yes, it is. Blocks on wood palette. And then I'm going to sort of just copy this because it's identical. Except we're going to change this to a 1. And we're going to mark that equals 32. Yup. Next up, YZ general goods. So we have another kind of general goods, like I mentioned before. It goes here. YZ general goods. Is it general goods load? It is. I don't know. I don't understand the obsession with calling it load, but it is what it is. YZ general goods load. This carries 32. The previous one carried 30. Oh, it also carried 30. Oh, that's strange. Why wouldn't you lump them together? 3240. Next up, and finally for this, pulp bale load, which I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to represent. Some sort of loaded lumber wood thing. Pulp bale load, 9x. So let's go up to P. It would be wild as if we had this one already. No, we do not. Okay. Pulp bale load, 9x. And I think that was a capital X? Yes. And this is 36 and it's load 6. So 36, 5, 0. Bold. That. None of this work is going to matter in the end. There's no way. We're not going to end up using it. Let's clean that up. We finished one row of cars, basically. Oh no, sorry. There's one more. Okay, this has Angel Soft, Charmin, and Kleenex, which are both fine, and then paper roll bleach and paper roll pulp board. These are both going to be useful, though. So this is called EEC PS 50_6 foot boxcar. I have not a clue what that means. But it's EEC. So we gotta go. Comes after EBT. Insert column right. Insert column right. Insert column left. Let's go all the way to the bottom here. But not off the page if we can help it. And then units, Q, item. Fold that together. Nope. I guess I didn't hit Control Z. Or Control C. Excuse me? Copy. Put it on my dang clipboard. There we go. Okay. We've got the Angel Soft palettes, Charmin, and Kleenex. These are going to be exactly the same as the other one. So, real quick, I just need to go down the list and mark these off. I guess there was only one commodity. Yeah, the EBT hopper only carries coal. Okay, where's the one we just had? Angel Soft palette, right? Angel Soft palette goes right here. Okay. And actually, this is going to be green, right? Like that color green. And then the bold comes off. Let me just scroll down to make sure I know what I'm doing. Standard railcar, preferred railcar, alternate railcar. Okay, yeah. I thought I made the bold mean something different, but I suppose not. So if we can just jump back to where we were. I guess we can't. You need to hide that. So we got that. We got to do Kleenex. Starts with a K. Kleenex palette right here. EEC PS boxcar. There we go. Unbold and put it in green. And then the last one is the Charmin, right? Charmin paper towels. Less is more or something. Did I go right by it? Where'd it go? Oh, you know what? This is the wrong color. That's why. That was my screw up. Oh, also these have to be in load 0. Not in load... Or sorry. In Q0, not in Q1. So, yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta do this. I'd like to think my organization is not bad. I wonder if there is an easier way to do this sort of thing. What's the last two here? Paper roll bleach and paper roll pulpboard. We can probably put those next to one another. They would go underneath this one. Paper roll bleached and paper roll natural. Pulpboard is one word in this case, I think. Yep. Max load is 19. The bleach one comes first. So 19, 19. The bleach one comes first, which makes it Q1 item 0, and this is Q1 item 1. These are both bold. These are both purple. And these are both the definitive carload for this item. So we have multiple different kinds of paper rolls. We don't have a ton of food, though. That's what we need. That's what we wanted. And we got all this stuff, right? There was this cattle. There was this stuff, which baggage, express product, mail product. These weren't great. Some of these we already have. This is an automobile boxcar with stuff that we already have. The pacemaker car. Oh, I was just looking at that one, my bad. This general goods, lumber, pallets of goods, grains. Not really exciting. I think it was only the stuff over there that really mattered, and we were just keeping other things over here, if I remember right. Or these were things that I wanted to keep an eye on, right? This is potash, which I think we don't actually have. So maybe we should be doing this. Oh yeah, this was new stuff too. Canned sardines, canned peaches, canned beans, potatoes bagged, canned soup, hardware and wood furniture. Right, I wanted that wood furniture. I also wanted charcoal briquettes and finished leather from this one. Plasterboard isn't bad either. Yeah, all these need to go in, and then we can figure this out. I mean, fruits and vegetables, right? Because we can just have some like greenhouse places out there and a canning place. A cannery is something that we need. So let me go to. Yeah, we can do that later. Kind of Doe Cliff. Where is? That's my plan for that. Let's rewrite after redesign. Where's my? There it is. Bellington, South Bellington. Features. Cannery. And leather working. Okay. We're pretty much able to wrap up. We don't have too many people around. I don't think I feel like jumping into the whole Minecraft thing. Maybe if more of the people that were hanging out were talking about it. I do have, you know what? I will cover the progress though, because I did mess with it quite a bit. This tab is still completely blank, but if we're talking about our hypothetical Minecraft mod, I do have some things. I have some notes. Um, I have some things that are not going to be parts. I have some really, really basic ideas for calculations. That's not important. Um, I have an idea about the firing, which I came up with the idea of different firing slots in the firebox before Studio 346 put out their video about firing in Century of Steam. So I think they stole that from me, um, and I demand royalties. Actually, they are doing it way way cooler than I ever could. So, uh, but I'm just thinking about it, right? But no, here's the thing, and I started to do math. I started to make like a spreadsheet and everything. That's gotten away from me. Um, I started to think about how you craft the locomotives, which is like a big erecting crane. So it's a big multi-block structure, right? You build like one frame of it, and you have to build at least three in a row with the track inside, and it's it's like a big donut around the track, um, and that makes the multi-block. And as you add more layers, as you make more pieces in a row, you get more um, you get more things. Oh, you know what? In fact, I think I forgot to set it for a week. Uh, Hold on. Edit thread, hide after a week. So you would get this, and it would get longer as it goes. And so you get your extras, you get your boiler courses, you get your frame blocks, which are just going to be like a block of steel, right? Or maybe a block of iron for smaller wheel arrangements. Um, and then you get your wheels. And you can put an unpowered wheel, unpowered wheel, powered wheel, powered wheel, powered wheel, powered wheel, unpowered wheel, unpowered wheel, and that would be a northern. It would be a 4-8-4 or a 2-4-2 in the sort of European way of doing the system. And then you hit build and it would appear. Um, your different parts, right? And this is the important part. You've got your drive wheels, like I said. You make them in a wheel lathe, which would be its own machine. You can make them in 3-inch increments. So you start the smallest wheel you can make is a 44-inch drive wheel, and it goes all the way up to 80. You could go up to 83 if you wanted, but I'm capping. Again, I don't want to get too crazy. It's already crazy enough. Um, you can make bogies for tenders. That's not important. Um, you make boiler courses, and I don't know what kind of machine you would make that in, because I know you just like use a big sheet of steel in real life, but I feel like it should be its own machine. And the boiler course determines your boiler pressure. So as your drive wheel, you make it in a wheel lathe, you get different sizes of wheel, and they probably don't stack. I would like as few of these things to stack as possible, because I want it to be really, really annoying to move this stuff around. I don't want pocket trains. I don't want you to be able to, oh, look, I built a big boy. Let me put that down on the track. Like, no. That's why the erecting crane is there. You put the materials into it, it builds the locomotive on the track, and you cannot remove the locomotive from the track without destroying it. Or at least breaking it, at least scrapping it, pulling it into its constituent parts. Um, you're not going to pick up a locomotive and carry it somewhere else. If you need to move locomotives, you got to do a power move. I don't want pocket trains. Um, I want evil amounts of realism in a Minecraft train mod. Um, so you make your bunker, or sorry, your boiler courses. Just like all your drive wheels on a locomotive have to be the same size, all your boiler courses on a locomotive have to be the same pressure. How you will determine that, I don't know. More material for higher pressure in whatever the crafting grid of a boiler course is going to be. But minimum 90 psi, maximum 300. Again, reasonable range. Um, Smaller stuff you could probably make with iron. Bigger stuff you'd have to make with steel. Maybe you can even make the lowest pressure with like wood or something. Um, but or some sort of thing, maybe like treated wood. I know immersive engineering has treated wood. Maybe you could make it out of make a bronze boiler or a copper one. I mean, copper fireboxes were a thing, but not because they could. Never mind. You can also make the bunker. I was originally thinking you have like different sizes of bunkers and different sizes of tanks, and you can put them on a locomotive. And like a small tank is uh, like a well tank, and a medium tank is like a box tank, and then a big tank is like a saddle tank. Uh, because I'm trying to simplify the number of parts, small tanks are the only kind of tanks that can go on locomotives, and they'll all be basically saddle tanks. Or maybe we'll figure it out based on the wheel arrangement. Maybe that they'd be different. Um, but they're all going to carry like the same amount of water. I think water in small tank, so 18 buckets. All these numbers are things that I'm gonna like check against Railcraft because I want it to be balanced against Railcraft. Even though I talked about taking the track system from immersive engineering. Immersive engineering um, has the big rails. Railcraft, I really like the machinery and I'm much more familiar with it. So you have different kinds of bunkers and different sizes of tanks. You can put a small bunker on a locomotive to make it a tank engine. You can put a small tank on a locomotive to make it a tank engine. Um, I don't know what you'd make them in. Uh, but anyway, a bunker, right? Sorry. Boiler courses, yeah. So you take boiler courses, you put them in here. You need at least one above every drive wheel, but you can have extra boiler courses for better steam production and um, for better uh, uh, steam space, steam capacity, right? Um, so if you were to build like an 060, right? Or no, sorry, if you wanted to build a 222, right? You put a little unpowered wheel, a powered wheel, and an unpowered wheel. Then you drop in some frame blocks, probably iron blocks. You drop in at least one boiler course over your drive wheel, um, but you could put up to three for additional steaming, and then you put in your um, your oh, and I realized I have screwed up again. Uh, you put in your like your valve gear, your cylinders, your valve gear, and a tank. I guess if you wanted to make it a tank engine, right? Um, and I'm realizing you should be able to put a bunker here if you wanted to. Um, so that's something because my litmus test has been: can you make an 060 tank engine? And if you can't, then I need to rethink my system. And that's why I kicked out. You don't need to put a stack on it. You don't need to make a cab for it. You don't need to make domes or anything like that. Like you could make a sand dome if you wanted additional like tractive effort. I feel like that should slash could be a thing. Um, but if you can't fit all those things, if you can't make a 222 tank engine that has both a water tank and a bunker, then no dice. Um, so, like I mentioned, cylinders are in 2-inch diameter increments. They start at 6, they go up to 30. It's a lot, but it's a lot of different increments. But you don't have to worry about the stroke. The stroke is going to be determined by the driving wheel size. Um, so it's sort of it ratios out. Um, then you can make the three different kinds of running gear. I don't know how you'd make that, but again, if you're making a locomotive, you throw in your cylinders, your valve gear that belongs to those cylinders, and that's above um, that's above, like, your cylinders are going to be above the first drive wheel they're associated with. Um, so if you were to make a 2 6 6 4, right? Unpowered, powered, 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 unpowered, unpowered. Throw in your frame pieces, throw in your boiler courses, and then you put in a set of cylinders and a set of valve gear, and then you put in another set of cylinders above this driver and another set of valve gear, and it'll associate these with these and these with these. Um, I don't think I want to bother with high and low pressure cylinders. Um, Anything like that. But yeah, so I've been trying to figure out things like top speed. I have made top speed and top safe speed. I feel like derailments are probably beyond the scope of this. I don't know how immersive railroading handles derailments, but like I bet you it's not great, like not exciting. Um, but I want to mess with this and reference Railcraft more. I feel like I've gotten a lot of the I feel like I've got a lot of the sort of initial hype out of my system, and now I can like think straight again. I'm just gonna put that in there. Boiler courses. I could say boiler courses or bunker. Right. Anyway, that's sort of where I'm at with this. I don't want to mess with it right now. Maybe without jumping into Minecraft. Maybe that's something for another day. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. This is the Admiral.